Hello, guys and girls. Board now back with you for another new movie review. And this is a recent Netflix movie, a sci fi thriller, which is called Stowaway. And this will be non spoiler. I watched it tonight, so I'm just going to give you, quite a brief summary of it and my overall feelings. And so the movie stars Anna Kendrick, Tony Collette, and Daniel Day Kim as three astronauts who go into space on a mission to Mars, a 2 year mission at the start of the film. And along the way, they discover that there's a stowaway, the stowaway of the title, who's this guy, Michael, who says he was like an engineer previously, and he ended up passed out in like an air vent when he was doing like some sort of engineer work, and obviously he didn't realize he was there. He falls out of the air vent and is unconscious, and he effectively becomes a member of the crew from then on because they can't turn back. They've already started this 2 year mission, so there's somewhat of like a mystery surrounding him. But basically, without going into full spoilers, his presence on the ship does affect things. It affects the mission, and there becomes a dilemma as the drama goes on, a moment of tension, which is all I can really say without giving too much away. And it's a really slow burning film. We actually see the start of the mission, them taking off, and it's quite slow moving from then on until we really get into the meat of it later on. Even then, it's a gradual thing, and this sort of build up of tension and drama. Very sort of character driven, although there's maybe not that much depth to the characters, but we do spend a decent amount of time getting to know them, and I think it's in the mold of certain sci-fis from the past, like Alien, maybe, just in the sense, I mean, it's not really a horror movie, but just in the sense that you do have kind of distinct characters in this, and it is sort of character-driven drama. I think all three of the characters are different. I mean, I almost said Anne Hathaway, but Anna Kendrick, who's like a producer on the film as well, in a very different role for her. She is like a doctor who is new to this sort of thing. This was like her sort of ambition, her dreams, what she like studied for, and she's really excited to be on this mission and to explore this new world, to do new research, as they all are. But Tony Collette, her character from the moment off, is the more sort of hardened, sort of grounded one, not quite as wide-eyed and innocent. I think that's definitely what they were going for with the Anna Kendrick character, who does become the heart of the film, really. She does develop like this sort of bond with the stowaway, with Michael. She's kind of there with him every step of the way, and out of the three, she definitely develops the most sort of connection with him. And my overall impressions of the film is that I thought it was very good. I thought it was a really compelling drama. It was nicely sort of cast. I think this is the sort of role Toni Collette is really at home with. I think she has that sort of very nuanced sort of presence, the Sigourney Weaver sort of factor, where she has a great sort of power and distinctness to her sort of facial expression. She really is able to tell a story just on her face, and I think it's telling that her character has a very world weary sort of presence to her. Daniel Day Kim, who people know from shows like Lost and Angel and a few other things, is also very sort of grounded and has like a persona of his own. There's quite a nice sort of banter between him and the Zoe, the Anna Kendrick character. And Kendrick is an interesting bit of casting because it's obviously different from her normal sort of role. You sort of think of her more for like kind of comedy roles, but also quirky indie films, maybe more than this slower paced, serious art house sort of feel of indie sci-fi, if you like film. And I think the casting makes sense just because, as I said, she is this sort of wide-eyed, innocent, sort of younger like character, and it's like she is the opposite of the Tony Collette character. So the casting works well. I guess maybe from an acting standpoint, if you're saying there's a weak link, it maybe is Anna Kendrick just because she's not as convincing as a dramatic actor as the other two. But she certainly gives it a good go, and I think is very likable in the role and does become the heart of the film. I could certainly see why they cast her in this kind of role. But I think at its core, it is what good sci fi should be because you ultimately get a dilemma at the heart of the film with the characters and the conflict where they have a disagreement, and it sets up a classic sort of sci-fi premise where there are rules and there are sort of tension and real attention to details, which raises the stakes, but it also doesn't necessarily give you an easy answer. It's very sort of complex, and you can see perspectives from either sort of side. I mean, there's a lot of emotion, I think, with the Anna Kendrick character, but you can definitely see where the other characters are coming from as well. And it does build slowly to this really tense sort of finale, which is really impressive done. I think making it so low key really adds to the drama and the tension at the end. Um, and I wouldn't say it's perfect, but I did enjoy the character drama and the slow arc of these characters and just the drama and the ideas, which I think are at the core of classic sci-fi. It was nicely directed, nicely paced, and also stunning music. I thought there was some well chosen bits of music that really sort of gripped me as well. I think obviously it has the feel of a lot of classic sci-fi, a lot of like more art house type sci-fi. So in some ways, there's nothing really original that you're gonna see here, and maybe it suffers a little bit in comparison with those other films, if you've seen them, just because they are so good. But I think you have to judge it on its own, and certainly for the drama of it, I think it was very well done. It really hit the mark, and I'll give it a thumbs up. I really think you should check this out. I think you have to give it a chance, but once you get into the character drama and the dilemma and the themes of what they're going for, I think you'll find it a really satisfying film. So that's Stowaway. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Check it out. So I'll be back with more movie and TV reviews soon. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.